Hello, hello, hello. It's your boy, the Beast One. Welcome to Dad Mentality, another episode this week. Last week, we talked about generational curses. This week, we're going to talk about cultural curses. And we got our girl, Althea McFarlane, a.k.a. Reese from the Morning Mac Show. Y'all know her. Y'all can catch her on everything, Instagram, Facebook, everything. Follow her show. Make sure you watch us tomorrow at 12 o'clock, right after you watch her show at 10:30. And let's have a good time, y'all, because y'all know what it is. Let's do this.
What is that's mentality? What it is? The mentality of taking care of family. As a man, I get lonely. I can't even call my homies, but I answer every call when my kids call me. I'll be there when they need me. They depending on me. They looking up to me. Sometimes we gotta fix our mental. Or maybe it's not meant to be a dad, a father, that's what men do. I made a promise to my kids, that's what I do. I just want them to do things better than I do. Or better yet, better things that I did. What is that's mentality? What it is? The mentality of taking care of family. As a man, I get lonely. I can't even call my homies, but I answer every call when my kids call me. I'll be there when they need me. They depending on me. They looking up to me. Welcome to the show, shout out to the coach. And Maddie Ice Cold Crypto. And each one, teach one. That's mentality, we just try and reach one. What is, that's mentality.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Dad's Mentality. Y'all know what it is. We're going to have a good show for y'all today as we do it every week. We're going to go ahead and introduce the guys with me. You know I don't do it by myself. We got my man. You would call him Mr. Bitcoin. You know him as the diversified hustler, also wealthy and blessed. You can check him out at the mall and get you some gear, even though he hasn't gotten us none. But our man, Maddie Ice Cold Crypto, what's up, dog?
What's good? What's good? What's good, man? Great day, great day.
Man, life is good. Another day in paradise. So this other guy, he's been with me since the sandbox. Sometimes he kind of looks at me crazy when I have these crazy ideas, but he still joins me and we have a good time. It's my man Vance Robs, aka Coach. What's up, Coach?
What's good with y'all? How y'all doing today?
Man, we doing good. We doing good. So I had to call my homie in for reinforcements to help us. We talked about these generational curses, these cultural curses. This is something she does all the time on her show, the Morning Mac Show. You can check it Monday through Friday. I can't believe she does it every day at 10:30. You can follow her on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Shout out to my man Molly. He's a producer. He has it looking good over there, making sure the reels and everything show up. She's a comedian. She's an author. You can also make sure if you didn't get it from the last time you seen her, upside down, there we go. Shades of Blue. I can't tell which way it is. There we go. All right. Shades of Blue. AM Morning. The book is great. I'm going to spend my vacation reading and finishing the book, but my wife says it's awesome already. So, this is a woman of many trades and talents. She'll say she is disabled, but very able. She got that whole thing going on. We saw at the comedy shows. My girl, Althea McFarlane, a.k.a. Reese. What's up, girl? How you doing tonight?
Hey. I'm good. Thank you, gentlemen, for letting me post up with y'all. This is the big little well, I'm the big sister. I think I'm older.
Yeah, it's all good. Every time you come on here, you show me a new talent. I remember you rapped last time we was here. I should have had a beat ready this time, but it's all right. We're going to let it go this time.
Thank you.
We find out something new every time we do that. So we're going to go ahead and move into, our Twitch mental health check-in, because mental health is very important, especially as us as a culture. I feel like we don't take enough pride in having your own mental health, because if you're not right, you can't be right for other people. So we're gonna go ahead and start our week. Let's see what y'all up to, how y'all feel. Go ahead, Matty Ice, you can go start us off, brother.
My mental health this week, man. I'm gonna say I'm a little higher than I was last week. I'm saying about at an 8. Everything was good yesterday, man. We was like all week long we was working up towards a fashion show that we did yesterday, a fashion show after party. It was a friend of mine, Felix Tambora, from out Texas. He was having his coming home party, doing his rock and roll line for the 2024 season. So he asked us to be a part of his fashion show. So we hopped aboard, had a couple other designers, and everything turned out great, man. Was able to walk some new stuff that we having to coming out this spring and summer with our polos, our duffel bags and book bags, and some of the sweatsuits and stuff that we already got. So, man, the fashion show and after party turned out great. And then something else that we got going, looking for this launch in May 1st. Everything is lining up for that. So, man, I'm gonna say I'm at about an 8, man. Like, everything isn't going perfect, or exactly as planned, but everything is going well, man. I can't complain.
Okay. All right. So May 1st, right? Okay. So May 2nd, Coach, we should be getting our gear, right?
If y'all come to the store, man, Coach ain't been to the store yet, man.
Let me make sure my math is good.
Coach can't get nothing until he come to the store.
I ain't been on that side of town in a minute.
May 1st.
I don't come past Route 4. You know?
Damn, man, come on, man. You sounding real bougie now, Coach, man. You say you only come on that side of the beltway. Damn. I used to live in Bowie too, man. You know what I'm saying?
Once I crossed Route 4, bro, once I came out of the hills, all Summer Hill Road, baby,
I live in Upper Marlboro, man. I've lived in Bowie before, man. Come on, man. Come on.
Coach. So
it's one exit down, man. What's that exit? Come on, man. It's one exit down, man. Come on down one exit, man.
We know. So May 2nd. Matter of fact, I come back May 3rd, so I'll be there on May 3rd. You know what I'm saying?
I'm through, man.
Coach?
You already know. You've been through the mall, so you know some of the plans.
Yeah. I still didn't get nothing though. I ain't getting nothing for free. I had to pay for all my swag.
I'll come through there. I'll be through there this weekend, man, because I got something going on over there on Valentine Road anyway. So
I bet, man.
My week was fine.
I ain't even gonna be here this weekend, Coach. The store gonna be open, but I'm gonna be out of town Saturday.
And I take pictures to make sure that I was there.
I
don't ask for no discounts neither. I pay full price.
My man.
No, that don't work for everybody in this podcast. His views does not go with everyone's views on this podcast. So.
Yeah. My week was pretty good, man. I'm still hovering between a 7.5. Nothing major changed over the last week. Just kind of working hard, trying to support the wife on a bunch of things. You know what I mean? Had a couple events last week we had to deal with, and got some big weeks coming up in the next few weeks. So just trying to get through all these events, trying to get through all this stuff. I mean, I'm jazzed. It's gonna get a little ridiculous, at least through Memorial Day. Baby boy is graduating that Friday, and that'll kind of be the day that we settle down. So other than that, I'm good.
Okay. All right. So for me, so this week was kind of weird. It started off really good. I had a cookout with the family this weekend. Just did it intimate. I wanted to do something with the family before me and my wife Victoria leave for Indonesia. I'm super excited about that. Got some bad news, but we made it through it. Luckily, by the grace of God and prayer, things ended up working out and being okay. So, that kind of put me. So right now, I would say I'm about an 8.5. Looking forward to this vacation. I leave in 2 days. Just in case y'all didn't know, I'm going to Indonesia. Make sure y'all follow me on Facebook. Me personally, Rodney Glover on Facebook. That's my personal page. But I also will be showing a lot of pictures of everything I'm doing when I'm in Indonesia. I'm going to Qatar, and then Jakarta, Indonesia, and Bali. So I'm gonna definitely be posting every day and all the time, just showing all the things I'm doing. I plan on doing a lot of fun things, so I'm gonna let everybody know. So I'm about at 8.5, but as soon as I get on that plane, I'm gonna be in the nines. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, once I land, I'll be the closest I've ever been to a 10. I'm definitely gonna take this time to clear and reset. You know what I'm saying? Reset myself and get myself to a point where I'm ready to start taking. I got some things I'm thinking about doing that is very personal level, and I mean it's working on me and being a better version of myself. So I got some things that I'm really thinking about doing, and I'm hoping that I get more clarity when I'm there and enjoying myself. And when I come back, I'm gonna start implementing the things. God has started revealing plans for me, and I'm still unfortunately fighting against them, and I'm hoping that I can set myself in the right place mentally where I can finally not be afraid and step up to them. So that's just something that I'm just saying out there, putting it out there. For now that I put it out there, I got no choice. I gotta either what is it, shit or get off the pot, whatever they say, even in the best terms possible. But I'm working on it. So that's me, 9.5. Life is good. About to have this vacation, have a good time, and reconnect with my wife too. Even though we're very much connected, but it's always you go on vacation. What happens on vacation, can be nobody gets to see that. You leave that there, so it's all good. We all into that. But anyway, Reese, how you feeling? What's your number? You give your number to how many? Your number week from 0 to 10, and what you looking forward to?
Oh, my week has been hard, fellas. It's been hard. I've been in a lot of pain because I got a root canal I got to finish up with. So far, and I don't know if it's just me, but when I'm in pain, I don't like people. I don't like.
It's not
I
just
mean,
you.
it's just I
Not
have a
just you.
short fuse. It feel like, and I'm a little nervous and everything because I'm finally getting going to be woosah. This is part two of the root canal thing. So after tomorrow, I should be gravy. I should be blessed. And because of Rodney, fellas, Rodney ain't tell y'all he had all these bums, these low
Oh Lord.
vibrational men calling me because of Friday's show.
I'm trying to help Reese out, man. She out here because Reese don't open herself up. And we can talk about that when we get to the topic too. I'll bring that up. Believe me, I got a
Yes.
topic just for you, Reese. But go ahead. I'm sorry. So what's your number for the week and what you looking forward to?
For the week, it's been a 6. I'm looking
Okay.
forward to this root canal tomorrow morning. I'm in this heat. I'm hot. I'll be out the house. I'll be sitting in that nice cool dental office chair and getting that nice good them drugs. I'm gonna look for them drugs.
Okay. What about those shows? You don't got those shows coming up?
Oh yeah, thank you, thank you. May the 4th, I'm supposed to be doing a show at the Galactic Panther with Lee. On May the 12th is a Mother Day show at Arlington Draft House. So if you guys are not busy, I mean this Mother's Day show is going to be all over the place. But if you're not busy, come and check out Arlington Draft House. But this show on June the 21st that I'm going to have, I think it's going to be at Simple Bar and Grill on Georgia Avenue. That's a big show. That's a big deal. It's the Stop the Violence festival, comedy festival for the gun violence that's been going
Okay.
on in DC. And that's a 2-day show. And your girl happened to be the anchor of that show. I'm headlining y'all on that
Okay.
Friday show.
Give me the
Hey.
flyer for that, Reese. Who you doing that with? I know that.
Philip Page, Rodney, you don't have the flyer?
I don't have the fly. I'm sorry. I'm not that
Yeah.
well prepared.
As I
I'm
said,
not like
send me
Molly.
that.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of do this by the whim of my seat. I don't half the time I don't even know what I'm doing until I wake up tomorrow in the morning. So it's
Yeah.
all
I
good.
about to say either Rodney or Reese. Send it to
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
I
I'll
can get
post it
off.
on. I'll
Yeah.
post it on that joint and send it to everybody.
I'm
Absolutely.
sending
I
it
think
right
that's
to
something
Rodney
that
right
bad
now.
mentality we should definitely do. So definitely
I
stop the
bet.
violence.
Because
Show
I
up
know
and
we've
support.
all been riddled with gun violence. It struck through my family like literally like a bullet. Just a few months ago, in
Mm.
November, buried a nephew, and then a couple of months before that, a cousin. All through senseless gun violence, but they just victims.
Okay. Right,
It's
yeah,
hard.
definitely. All
So
right, well,
yeah,
that is a good transition to my first topic of what I was going to talk about with y'all, which is which is, so we're talking about cultural curses. In my opinion, cultural curses are things that plague our community, or even statements or comments or things that we kind of as a culture believe in and enforce and teach, and it's on social media, it's here, it's there. And one of them that I wanted to bring up to start off with is snitches get stitches. So the reason why I wanted to bring that up is because, one, I kind of did a little research of this term, and this term began as one thing and has turned into another. So snitches get stitches is one of the things that was used back in our culture when we used to police our own culture. So, in other words, we had other things like the Black Panthers. We had groups in even our community. That was back when you can get somebody on the street. You was out there doing wrong. Somebody on the street would whoop your ass as a child. You know what I'm saying? And had that right that your parents would tell them, "Oh, you see him out there. You let us know. You let us know. You tell us what's going on, and you'll take care of him." And that was one thing. So, like, for instance, it also became a jailhouse term because in there it was very much a huge thing. Oh, you better not snitch. You can't snitch. You can't snitch. No matter what happens, you can't snitch. Now, to me, that's one thing, but to me, the other is I feel like as a society that we're talking about gun violence and things like that. If there's somebody running through your neighborhood, shooting up your neighborhood, and they kill a child, why am I not snitching? Why am I not telling that this person who's running through my neighborhood, shooting up my neighborhood, and has killed a child, why am I not confronting this person? Why am I not going to tell them I'm going to snitch? Like, yo, that person should not be saved or hidden in your neighborhood. And I kind of feel like that's become the okay practice. But back in the day, the OGs of the neighborhood, the people who started like the Crips or what you call it, would go take care of that. There was no need to call the police because that's what we did as a culture. We didn't allow things like that to go, and that person we kept them safe in our neighborhood. Why would you keep that person that is running through your neighborhood, shooting up your neighborhood, and let's say, injured a person, or just did that in general? Why would you keep them safe in your neighborhood? So that's kind of one of my questions I want to start off with today, and see how y'all feel about what I said, what y'all think about what the snitches get stitches mantra. Anybody want to go first?
I go first.
Go ahead, Reese.
Okay. To me, when you say the snitches get stitches mantra, to me, it's only a part of it because it's a lot of it that's missing. And it's okay. I heard of tattletale tip loses a lip. And what do they say? Loose lips sink ship. So there's a lot of that mantra going around. But it also comes from the slave culture. Back in the day, you wouldn't tell. And that's where we had it. That's when it was good not to tell. You can't tell master, can't tell everybody what's going on with the big house. So that's where they say tattletale tip lose a lip. I got that from my grandmother, old timey sayings and stuff. And it was
That's the
geared
first time I
towards
ever heard it.
But we brought that up a little bit last week too, though, talking about how that was put in the culture of slaves telling on other slaves to get gifts or get freedom and stuff like that. So that's been kind of implanted in the culture. We kind of spoke on that a little bit last
Coach,
week.
remind them what you said last week.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what slave owners used to do. They literally would take 1 to 2 slaves would get freedom for snitching on other slaves, right? So it was just a Jedi mind trick or reverse psychology of keeping us, you know what I'm saying, to tell on each other. And then, of course, what derived from that is snitches get stitches, right? Like, if you going to snitch, because it wasn't a guarantee that if you snitch, you got your freedom, right? So I think that's where it kind of derived, like, hey, if you're going to tell on other slaves, you know what I'm saying, you're going to catch these hands.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's really what, you know what I'm saying, the true origin of it. It was like, hey, you can do that if you want, But you know what I'm saying? I'm a slave just like you a slave, and you better not come back a slave, because if not, you're gonna catch it. And that's, you know what I'm saying? That just was passed down generation to generation. Now, how that morphs into, you know what I'm saying, what Reese was talking about, you know what I'm saying, loose lip sink ships and tattletelling and all of that. That those are other things similar to snitches get
It's the
stitches.
same thing. It's just a
Yeah,
different type of jazzy or mantra, I guess, for the
yeah.
time.
So I mean, because the thing about it is, when somebody says lip sync ships to me, dog, that ain't got nothing to do with snitching on me.
Nah, yeah, that means a little something
That that,
different. It's in
Yeah.
the
that means
same
something
vein,
completely
but
different
yeah,
to me. You know what I mean? Because that could be
that's more loyalty. Like I don't know,
correct.
but it could go. It's the same thing though, but usually when I hear that, that's more of a different type of subject. But
Yeah, I mean, the subject is the same like she said, mantra, but just a different topic. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of more like the what happens in this house stays in this house.
yeah,
No,
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 what
no,
kind
no,
of? I'm
because
now
asking.
I
it
would
says
agree with
loose
that.
lips. That means you running, you popping your gums, sink
Yeah,
ship. That means you telling the business you ain't got no business telling.
exactly.
yeah,
And that's
What
why
goes
that
on
Yeah.
in our
sink
house,
gonna
stay
go
in our
down.
house.
But it don't have to be the house. It's
Yeah,
just
it could
saying
be
it's
anything.
gonna make
A,
a building crumble.
a
You run
house,
your mouth, we gonna fall.
but a
Long
house
as you
could be a
running your mouth.
family. That's you know what I mean. When we say house, the house can be replaced for a lot of things, but that's what we saying. Like you know what I
yeah.
mean? Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
mean,
Like
but
we ain't
back
talking
to
about a ship. It say loose leaps sink ships. We know we ain't talking about a physical ship. So
yeah.
it's replaced with whatever you want to replace it with.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
could be your business, it could be
Yeah,
family, it could be
exactly.
anything,
Yeah.
right? But back, Roddy, kind of back to, you know what I'm saying, your thing about like just snitching on neighborhood things. I mean, I think a lot of times that is more out of fear because there aren't the OGs like you were talking about checking people that are doing wrong in their neighborhood, right? So a lot of people, even though they want to tell, they're stuck in that neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
And there are repercussions for telling, whether that is right or wrong. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, the innocent child gets killed. I mean,
Tell.
I don't got no problem telling him that.
Oh, I
Hey,
don't
he did
either.
it. You know
I'm
what
Hey,
I
letting you know
mean?
right
but
there. I snitch. I
hey,
But
did it.
fear it
but I would
paralyzes
say
you.
this,
Fear
and
paralyzes you.
this go back to what Rodney was said. Times have changed. Like a lot of those mantras may have held a little bit of weight because,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, they used to look out for the neighborhood, but now the same people who you saying that if you don't snitch, they ain't like they looking out for you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? They
exactly.
ain't like coming out, they ain't coming back doing nothing for you. They ain't looking out for the hood. They not, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, so that a lot of that stuff don't hold weight because it's a
Mm-mm.
lot of the people who doing the things is very senseless. Not saying that what they were doing before maybe wasn't depending on your principles and morals and your belief structure, it wasn't still right, but it was based on rules and principles and morals. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't mess with old people, we don't do this, we don't mess with kids. It was a different structure, but now it none of that is holding weight. You know what I mean? So
Mm-mm.
you know what I
No.
mean? They not looking out,
Different
looking back. So that's not it. A lot of them things don't even hold weight anymore. You know what I
different
Agreed.
mean?
time, different
Yeah,
creed. You're absolutely right. And now, because you got these Karens out here, you got Sharon and you got Karen, all these busybody neighbors that's telling on you the drop of a dime, and for
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
nothing, just for meanness. That's for so they don't
yeah.
care.
We got the homeowners association queens out here trying like man, mind your goddamn business. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Your
you
tulips
know,
is too close
Absolutely.
to your hydrangeas. Your
yeah.
tulips are
Mm-hmm.
like,
We didn't
Right.
say you could paint your front door. Like, why are you
Yeah.
even paying
Yeah, well,
attention to my front door color? Like, go like get the like,
and
yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say. That for me personally, I feel like a lot of that particular, even that mantra, is very prevalent in our culture. I don't feel that it's that prevalent in other cultures. That's why you have Karens. That's why you have these people that don't even understand the what's the word I'm looking. They don't even understand the thing of repercussions. Like they don't care.
Hey.
They're gonna say what they got to
Cause
say.
they telling each other all the time. What you talking about?
Hey,
It's in their culture.
But that's what I was
Yeah,
about
No,
to
I'm
say,
saying
Reese.
to tell on each other, not
No, exactly, and they don't care about telling. So that's the same thing. Like I don't know because I we may not be
no,
tuned
but that's
into
what
their
I'm
channel.
agreeing. I'm saying that's
I'm
they tell
tuned
on each
into
other.
it. Cause I
They
hear it.
tell.
I mean, I heard a
Yeah.
lot of white
they-
Caucasian, different Asian friends, and they tell.
Yeah, I mean they
Oh
tell.
no, you
but
see
they-
it, you
they-
see,
but
you see it
understand
at
it.
work. They ain't got no problem going to HR.
Wait a second, though.
You know.
Wait a minute.
Hold on,
Bring
wait.
that
Go ahead,
back.
coach.
They tell, but who they tell on?
Us.
Well, if we ain't
Wait,
around, they tell on each other.
Okay, like you know
I
what I'm
think they
saying?
tell on each other too. I'm
Now they
down
do,
for
but
that.
I get what Coach saying, but
Me
they
too.
it's
They
not.
stick together. They stick together as well.
Cause they're watching us. They stick together. They be,
Yeah, if they gotta-
You
if
see,
they gotta-
coach?
if they got
He got up
if
2
they have
times to go to the bathroom in
No, this is
15
something,
minutes.
I
What?
think you brought up. I think that y'all brought this up on the show today on Morning Mac. The only time that we all going to get along is when an alien comes and we got a different color.
The
Something
human
different
race.
that now
Man, we
all of
still
us
not
stick
gonna get
together.
along.
Well,
I
we're getting
know.
along enough to get rid of them. I mean,
Hey, dog, just think about how dumb the show The Walking Dead is. It's zombies walking around the
Oh,
earth,
yeah,
and the
that's
battles
true.
that are beefing are the humans versus the humans. Hey,
yeah, they more
get
dangerous.
together to fight the zombies.
Yeah, your mic going in and out, Coach.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Hold
get you.
on.
Because if that was a real situation, you know they would get rid of all the fat people first, put all the fat people on the front line, and while the zombies is going through the fat people, the rest of the people would get away. I mean, look, I know I'm a goner. I know they're going, and I hope you eat me and get diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease, and have a stroke. I hope the zombie have a stroke. You choke on this. You know, that's what I know I'm gonna be. All the fat people, we gonna be the barricade.
They gonna eat all the fat people first.
They gonna eat all the fat people, bro, while the skinny people run away. Rodney, you gonna be behind us.
Nah, I run too fast, dog. I'm still fast for my age. Don't worry about it. I'm good.
They gonna wrangle you up. They gonna wrangle us up like they gonna feed the zombies. We gonna be, and we gonna be up there. That's when fat people gonna learn their karate skills and stuff. They gonna be kicking some zombies' butt.
Hey, Kung Fu Panda, watch the movie. You gotta get your skills up.
Skadoosh. Look, I already got my skadoosh. Don't play with me. I eat a skadoosh.
All right, well, let me keep it moving. We're gonna go on to the next topic that I wanted to bring up. So, you know, this one I've had this discussion several times with different people, and that's sex sales. So I really feel that our artists, our female artists, you know, are pushed to go into one direction with music and what they're talking about and this, that, and the other. They talking about WAP. They talking about like all these things, and even our male artists too, because none of them are talking about love anymore. They're only talking about sex. They're only talking about this. They're only talking about what they're going to do to a girl and this, that, and the other. There's no more love relationship. If you can name me one. I'm just going to throw it out there. Maybe y'all can give me one R&B song that has been written in the last 5 years that talks about love.
I don't listen to R&B no more. So I couldn't need.
What's R&B?
All right, well, don't even worry about it. But then you got people like when I think R&B, I think of what's my man that he got charges for doing something now too. Trey Songz. You think about, you know,
he think about his sex. He ain't thinking about
well, they're all talking about sex. That's my
point.
I'm trying to say there's no more love songs. There's no more love songs out there for us and artists. And I mean, the thing is, and the biggest thing is, there's so many Black females who are top of the charts now. But when you look at the white artists or different culture artists, they're not talking about their body parts and selling it and doing this and doing that. You got what's the girl who's the number one artist?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. She not talking about that. And I argue Ariana Grande. She's not talking about that. She's not. I mean, you got, and she's not even white. She's Spanish. But I mean, the pop culture, they're not talking about that like they are for our female rap culture.
What about Billie Eilish? like
about her?
people
She's
like
not
her.
talking about sex.
She
Not at
got they
all.
do some they say some sexy stuff. There's a lot of
Nah,
it's how it's
that's
packaged. They're
What?
talking about it, but it's in different ways. It
Yeah,
depends on how it's packaged.
and
And
it's
they're
the same with Taylor Swift. She talk about her bodies too, because she go through her entire relationship on every single album.
yeah. She goes through an actual relationship, but she's not
Yeah,
talking
but
about
I
I got
mean,
WAP.
good,
She's
that's
good.
not
that's
talking
how
about.
she's packaged.
Yeah, it's just a matter of how
And Madonna,
she was the
Well, there's
the
always
matriarch
one.
of it.
Well, there's
Like
always
literally.
one.
wait,
There's
wait,
always
what?
one, but
And
still.
Alanis Morissette, and
I would
Alanis
say I don't
Morissette wasn't
listen to
even
their
flashy.
music to even know, but
What was
I
the?
do. I would say
Go ahead, I'm
Madonna,
listening.
but I don't listen to Taylor
I just
Swift.
don't feel that it's being pushed the same way it is being pushed
Alanis Morissette,
for our black.
But
Evanescence. There's a
do you
lot
think?
of them that
All right, so
did.
let's
Hold
do
on,
it
hold
like
on.
this.
I got one. I got a better question.
Is
for you.
it
And
more is it more explicit the way that
Definitely more
we
explicit.
put it out there than their music? Is it more
Well,
explicit?
I have a young daughter.
Yes.
I mean, Coach, you have young daughters.
So would you rather listen
Who
to
are
Sexy
you
Red or
letting
Taylor
them listen
Swift?
to? Who are you letting them listen to? Because I mean, but yours are really young. I understand that. But
Man,
I'm
mine
just
ain't
saying,
listening to.
yeah,
I mean,
I understand. But my daughter, she listens to Taylor Swift. She'll listen. Now Beyonce is kind of the exception, but the rest of these, I don't allow that in my house like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell her to turn it off if they talking about whatever, this, that, and the other. So
Ratchet street music.
yeah. I mean, but my thing is, I really feel like for female artists, it's being pushed on our black young ladies way worse than it is to any other culture.
Now, let me ask you, Rodney.
So I got something.
Oh,
for
I'm
y'all.
sorry.
Go ahead, Coach.
So
Coach
here's the
Gordon,
thing, right? So I think that the female artists, a couple of them have actually tried to stay try to tell their story in a different way, whether it's the lyrics or what they want to sell and so forth. I think that we as a culture support those female artists because of what they're saying and how they're saying it. So if you wanted to change, support the artists that are singing the other things, right? Give you prime example, Janelle Monáe.
Oh yeah. Well, Janelle Monáe does talk about sex, but she talks about it on a different term.
I know what I'm saying is what she was,
women, yeah.
what she was versus how she shows now.
I like Janelle Monáe.
I love Janelle Monáe.
Yeah.
But before she wasn't showing her body, she wasn't doing none of that stuff.
Yeah.
She's not doing it now, is she?
Now she did a little.
She has in her last.
She did like a little topless John.
But she's more like a strong. But I feel like Janelle
like Erykah Badu.
But understand,
yes,
if you go back and you research, even Nicki actually stated it. She said, "I tried to do an album where I was just trying to be a lyricist and not talk about half of that stuff, and they did not support it."
When she says
that's what I'm saying. It's perception, though.
Agreed.
Because how
I like Pink Friday album.
How Rodney looks at it, he like, well, from his perception, it's coming from a strong woman perspective more than a raunchy perspective. But that's perspective. You know what
would you let y'all sons listen to the guns? I'ma shoot you. We rolling down. We macking 10 hoes and calling women hoes and all that stuff.
Yeah, my son did. My son does and did listen to that. But I have always been there. And he understands that that's music, though. Like, you know what I mean.
So should the females.
Music didn't raise them. You know what I mean? And, hey, my daughter as well. I wasn't as strict about it. Like, we used to ride around. My daughter loved the same music I listened to. We used to ride around cranking Jeezy.
Come listen
on Blast 10. But we always was there to allow them to know what we did and what was good in our household. Right. So I like music didn't raise my kids, like, but we listened to all of it, but they listened to it with me. Like I can't say that I censored my kids' music. Like I've rode and I listened to everything with my kids in the car. I didn't. I ain't. If that's what I was knocking at the time, and they was riding, that's what they was riding to too. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
I get
Like
that too.
on some
And
like
my
I didn't censor my kids from music.
my son's a DJ now, and a lot of the stuff that he listened to, he got it from me, and he looked at me, Mom, you gonna say about what we say? Listen to this, that y'all saying. Every generation got its sick stuff. Every
Every
generation
Exactly.
from
single one.
music, every
Exactly.
gener and
You
he
gotta
listened to
raise your kids though.
some of the
Like,
lyrics on some of the older music, and I was laughing and telling him, "Oh, that's it." He was like, "Mom, y'all was sick." We was like,
Yes, they were.
it's you got, and that's what, Coach. I
It was
like what
just
you
smooth.
said, and man, Maddie, you got to tell your kids this is just music. See, I said, forget the words, listen to that music, and he was able to dissect. If I like the beat, I like it. If I like the lyrics, I liked it. There was two reasons why I like the music. If I like what it said and the music, and sometimes it could be saying straight trash. Listen to that music though. The words are garbage. Have y'all ever had songs like that? That it was banging, the music was banging, but you just wanted the instrumental because the
and
words was some garbage, or you
I
just tuned out the words.
and I would say, we honestly, like my kids was right on the edge of it because my kids are a little older. Where I would say they had access to it, but a lot of their access to it was when they was riding with me. So it's not the same way as it is now with Instagram and them being bombarded with it all day long. So it's a little bit different, you know what I'm saying, than it is now. Like my kid, my daughter's turning 22, my son's 24. So they grew up with Instagram, TikTok, and all that, but they was a little bit older when those things start hitting. So I would say right now, I may play it different if I had younger kids. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? You know, so because they didn't, once they was in the house, you can control what they watch. You know what I'm saying? But now little kids got phones. You know what I'm saying? Like all of our kids, what's y'all youngest child? And do they have
31.
an iPad? Do they have a cell phone?
I only got one.
Mine is 10.
Mine is
They
8.
got cell phones?
No.
Yeah, no, my son does not have it. My 10-year-old does not have a cell phone now.
Oh, so you're not able to get in contact with? He's not around you?
He has a watch.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, I have
He
a
tells
watch.
I know a lot of 10-year-olds. Most 10-year-olds got cell phones now.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
because you
you're
want to
right,
be able
but
to
I don't.
contact your child.
Yeah.
No, I got that. Mine gives his location. He can
Okay.
call me. He can text message me. He can do those things on here, but he can't do anything else.
My
Guys,
11-year-old.
that's-
You
know what
can
I'm
beam
saying?
him up. Rodney beaming him up.
No, that's good
I'm
stuff.
just
I like
saying.
that.
Yeah. And,
But
you know,
a lot of
Squatch loves
people,
it.
they got cell phones. There's 10-year-olds with iPhones.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
absolutely.
Facts.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Yeah, my neighbor and his friend just came over. They're listening to the show. I was trying to figure out so they can hear it live, but you know, they just coming in hanging out. But we're gonna go ahead and go to the next topic. So you know, next thing, once again, just recapping, we're talking about cultural curses. So the one thing I want to talk about that we've definitely talked about on this show that I feel has been a plague on our culture is that real men don't cry. Real men don't cry has been something that I feel that has been pushed on us for a long time as a culture, and it turns and it's not. And it's, the one is not true, and two, that we as a culture need to change that and accept that it's okay to not be okay. I say that all the time to my kids. I say it to my family. I say it to, you know, anybody who's going through something, and they be like, oh, you know, I'm going through this. I'm like, dude, it's all right. It's okay to not be okay. But that stereotypical comment has been pushed on our generation, especially as black men. And it actually came through. A lot of it was said to us by our own families. Was said to us before that. So, you know, we've talked about this on the show several times. I'm curious to Reese, how do you feel about that thing, that statement that real men don't cry?
You know, I hate to go back to slavery with this, but that was some of that That's a lot of slave mentality is what we inherit and we pass on for generation to generation. That not crime part. Boy, don't cry, boy. Take them whips, take them lashes. And you have to steadfast and show face for your family. Even though master beat my butt, you still have to hold your head up in front of your wife and your children. That was and my heart feels because I have a son and I tell him cry. That don't mean you weak. That does not make you less of a man. All that shows me that you got feelings. That because that whip hurt. Like when I used to tear his tail up, I didn't tell him don't cry, men don't cry. I said cry, cry, get it out. It good, wash your soul out. Cause I know I hurt you. Cry, go and get it out. So by you holding on to those tears does not make you weak, baby. Because I know some people that don't cry, never cried a day in their life, and they is one of the sorriest excuse for a man that there is walking. And that's all I'm gonna say on that. That's the old wives' tale myth. Cry, baby, cry.
Mhm.
All right, fellas, y'all got anything you want to add or say?
Nah, man, I agree with her. Like, yeah, it definitely comes from that mentality, and it's about, you know what I'm saying, we couldn't necessarily show our emotion. They already thought we were weak. They already thought we were less than a human, right? So if that mentality is bred into us, like we always had to look strong to each other and to everybody else.
What about you, Matty? Ice, before I say,
yeah, I'm about to say, nah, I agree that it's one of those things that we took on from a culture not being able to show. But I would just say, like, that's important to be able to release those feelings, because that's why a lot of us have emotional trauma scars or like different things we talk about, because we don't cry. We, you know what I mean, we don't get those feelings out. Like I felt that way. Like when my father passed, like it's like I didn't even want to, was holding it in, that I never cried at his funeral. But it was one day I was literally just sitting in my car and I broke down. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we do feel like we gotta be strong. You know what I'm saying? Like when my wife's mother passed, my mother-in-law, like I felt I had to be strong for her. I didn't want to cry because she was doing enough crying for both of us. But I had a moment to myself when she wasn't around where I broke down. And I think it's good for you to have that moment of release, whether it's in front of somebody or it's by yourself. But man, crying is a release. You know what I'm saying? And I'd say that's a big stereotype that we need to get out of there. Like, it's emotion. You gotta let that out. You know what I'm saying? It's a weight off your shoulder, off your back. Like, yeah. So if you a grown man and you ain't never cried, hey, I'm sorry for you. You know, like seriously, like let that shit go.
Yeah. Hold on. Check one. Y'all can hear me, right? Because I changed the
Yes, sir.
audio. All right. So anyway, so I've always felt that it was one thing to set us up by telling us we can't cry. They always allowed us to show anger. Whenever a black man, and then you got that whole stereotype, oh, you're an angry black man, you're this, you're that. To me, it was always a setup to then, you know, anger's okay. It's okay for you to show this anger and
Slavery
explode, this, that,
mentality.
and the other. Yeah,
Back to
you know.
slavery.
But you can't cry, you can't show weakness,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. But the thing is,
All
when you don't
emotions are
cry,
fine.
go
All
ahead. I'm sorry.
emotions are fine to show. It's just
Yeah. Well, the thing is, when you don't let that out, the only thing you're doing is building anger. You're building more anger and more anger and more anger until finally it explodes. And then that's when the issue to me happens, is when that explosion happens. And then that's what they want to happen. They want that explosion. So that's why I always felt that was something that was said to us as a culture.
But you know what, Rodney? Let me say one more thing before you close out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Even in the Bible, it says it's okay to be angered. It's okay to be angry. That's not what's not okay is to raft. That's the key. So you could be mad, you could get angry, let it out, Hulk out. But what's not okay is when you become physically violent with it. where you got to choke somebody or throw somebody down and kick somebody and hit somebody. That's not okay. But it's okay to be angry, but
Yeah,
not to
it is.
wrath. When you wrath, it's the sin. Not being angry, that's not a sin.
Yeah, anger is a powerful energy that can be used like that, like especially in sports. Like you get
Motivates you.
upset and then you use it in a competitive way. It don't mean just because you angry that you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
so
something
that
bad. So
exactly. You know what I mean? And then just going back to you, when you don't let certain things out, that's when it could turn into wrath. You
that's
know what I'm
right.
saying? Because it was built up too much. So then you do explode, you flick off, and then it's like, damn, why he respond like that? You know what I'm saying? It's called uncontrollable emotional response. Like you, and then after you snap back, you might not even know really, like, damn, why did I flick off like that? And it's because it wasn't even that certain moment. It was
Yeah.
just a build up, and it triggered something
Mhm.
in you that caused you to have a moment of
Yeah.
miscalculation, misjudgment. You snap. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Yeah.
For men and women. Yep.
Okay. So next, I want to bring in this topic, and let me go ahead and explain. I'm gonna try to explain it thoroughly so that everybody understands. But here's my issue, and this is, I feel, is a big thing that's going in our society today. I feel that it's something that has been planted for years, and that's one of a a man finds a woman. Let's say he has a good career, this, that, and the other. This woman, let's say this woman only has $5,000 in her bank account. But this man then takes her. He teaches her motor. He helps her with her business. She starts her own business. She grows. She now has $120,000 in her bank account. And this man has done his job. Now in society, we applaud that. Oh, that's a good man. You really found a good one. This, that, and the other. But now, if you take that same scenario and you flip it, and you take a woman who has a business, and she's got all her stuff. She has her house and this, that, and the other, and this man does not. He doesn't have everything that she has, or this, that, and the other. And then she takes that man and then teaches him, and he learns, and he pays attention to this. And like I said, there's always exceptions to it. I'm not talking about the dude that isn't paying attention, that's just living off the woman. I'm talking about the dude that's actually taking the knowledge and growing from it and becoming better. And then next thing you know, he grows his bank account, he grows his business, he does the things that he does. To me, the society today looks at that as, she's mothering him. She's taking him and making him something that, she's trying to make him a son, not a partner. That she's taking she's looked at as being done for one, settling for something less. And then the man is considered still a deadbeat because he had to live up under a woman to become successful. But if the same story is split in two different ways, why are we still, as a culture, that it's okay for a man to take care of a woman and help her grow and help her start her business, but if a woman does the same thing, she's considered stupid. She's considered, for why are you settling for less? You shouldn't be dating him because he's not at your level. So, you know, I'm listening. You want to jump in?
Yeah,
All right,
I
here we
did.
go. We got a special guest coming in. Come on, go ahead.
Go ahead, Reese, give your comments first.
Yeah.
Oh, she has on the
Go ahead
green
and get your
shirt.
comment.
You can
What
see
you got on the green shirt?
yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see through me. But anyway, I'm a little clogged up.
That's
I was
kind of dope.
going no, what I was going to say, it depends on the narrator.
Can't hear.
Can he yeah, I've been sick. But what I was saying, can y'all hear me?
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
So it depends on the narrator, is what I'm saying. It depends on who's telling the story and what the perspective of that person is. So like if you ask a female like me, I feel like you should be supportive and it should be a partnership. It shouldn't be one way versus the other. But I do know most females feel like what he's saying. So I don't. That just depends on who the narrator is. Is all I was saying.
You're saying most females feel like they're being used because they're helping a guy become successful?
Yeah, because their minds have been washed by, the 1980s perception of,
That's that, but it's a choice
of
though. They
That's a
don't they don't
like,
have to do it. Tell the
no, they
nigga get
don't
out
have
then.
to.
yeah, and
Yeah, they
like,
don't have to.
Tell the
Let the
and
nigga
nigga for
leave.
themselves.
Like what, like, you know what I mean?
and it's one thing if you're dealing with a guy that is not trying to grow with you.
Exactly.
Right, but
You
that's
know
what
what
I'm
I'm saying?
saying.
And it's also another thing if the guy grows and then leaves you, then you can assume that you were used. But
Yes.
if it's a partnership, until uh, 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 it going either way doesn't really matter. If it's a partnership, now
Right.
I am not talking about the females and males that are doing nothing for themselves.
No, I'm not talking about them either.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
I'm talking about the same scenario that he just explained.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, but
Mm-mm.
it's all about what you're okay with. So let's
Yeah,
just
That's what
say
I so that's you're saying the
it,
same thing I just said.
exactly. So,
It's all about perspective and whoever the
hmm
narrator is. So if the narrator is a person who's biased, or if she's some, or say it's a female who's been hurt or damaged by men, her narrative is going to be different than a female who's totally healthy in her mind and her mental, her relationship. What she's looking for is going to be, true. She's going to give that situation more of a chance, is what I'm saying.
under
yeah,
agree.
I
Totally agree.
yeah,
Right.
but in that same perspective, a female like that may not deal with a man who, and she not going to allow him to, if that's how
That's
she
true.
feeling, to leech off of her. She gonna say something or put him out. But what I'm saying, like Coach saying, if you are okay with it, he's providing something for you to
Right,
have
and
him
she
there.
should
He
right, and
might
she
not
should
be
respect
cooking and
that.
cleaning, but he laying it down or doing something because he there for a reason. So
Right,
if
Yeah,
as
he's
long
not
as he is
there
providing
for a
something to
reason,
her.
then it was a
Yeah.
choice why you allow him to be there. But
the
then
fun,
going back to Coach, but let's say for instance, a year later, he hits the lottery and then he don't look out for you and he leave you, then that's a different, you know what I mean? Then
different
that's
that's a
different.
different scenario, right?
Yeah, that's what so
I
that's
mean,
what I'm saying.
the thing about it
That
is,
that may be a little extreme, but that's the only
Hold
way
on,
I can
fellas.
kind of
Let me.
explain it.
I want to see what Reese got to say about this real quick.
I was going to say it depends on where you are in your age group as well. Because when we're young and we don't have nothing together, we both building each other up so we can have something to grow together. And
yeah,
even if I'm older and dating a younger guy, or maybe he 45 and we in our 40s, whatever, and just because I help him does not, I don't look at him as being less than. Even if I'm helping them financially, you never look down on a man unless you picking them up. That whether it's a male or female, if you
hmm
giving this person a leg up, help them to stand so they can stand on their own 2 feet. I'm not going to help you and have it where you lean on me. I don't want that. I want to help you stand as a man, just like you should want to help me stand as a woman on my own. Not with that little catch. Oh, but you got to lean on me though. That's somebody that's want control. That ain't somebody that's truly want help. Help somebody. That's somebody that want to have control of the narrative. Period. When you want to control a person, you had them leaning on you so they can be dependent on you some kind of way, whether it's male or female. Help is help, and if you're giving it true help from the heart, you're giving true help from the heart. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't look at
you're
that
absolutely right. Like you
that
got
other
to
stuff.
be.
Mm-mm.
The thing about it is that if if males operated that way, then our class levels would never change,
Mm.
right? And if females operated that way, our class levels would never change because we will only be dealing with people on the same level as us. So, like for black families, like it almost has to work that way from a partnership in order for you to become successful. That's just what it is. Either the female has to bring the male up, and the male has to bring the female up, or y'all got to bring both of each other up together. Like that's the only way it works in black families.
No,
I
I
don't
agree
see
with you.
nothing
I
wrong with
agree
that.
with you. but here's what I'm trying to say is that the younger generation now, that's what they're being taught, because there's a lot of women who are educated, smart, they got great jobs, they're doing this, they're doing that. And sometimes that I feel that it's a lot of social media and things like that where they explain it like, okay, you can't help a man. Like you need to find a man. You hear women, they make 150,000. They say, "Oh, I'm only dating a person making 300,000."
I
You
mean,
see that?
that's
You see,
her priority.
I
The funny
understand that,
thing,
but that's what's being. I feel like then that's why we're having this conversation. I feel like that is something that is being pushed upon
But who's
us.
teaching them? Because I know when I teaches my nieces and my little cousins and all of them, I don't teach them that. You know what I look for in a man is not the wallet first. It's his traits. It's his man traits, his integrity, his strength, his honesty, dedication. How do he love his mama? How do he love himself? I'm teaching the young girls. So I don't know who's teaching them other ones, but I know mothers like me and the people in my circle, the woman in my woman circle, we teach. We had a whole different
So none of
diaspora.
y'all,
But
have a friend or a female
but
that's
that
ever
bring it
told you,
back full
"Oh,
circle though, Rodney. Like that bring it back full circle. Like she said, who's teaching? Like we talked about the generational curses and what's being broken and how grandmothers are younger and like how we don't have like it's so it does feel like it's being pushed upon. And I would say that maybe we see a lot on social media, but I don't want to sit here and act like, again, like how we talked about black fathers, how black fathers are prevalent. But if you just look at what's being pushed out there, it'll make it look like black fathers aren't prevalent. So
correct.
it is. So that's what they're showing us. But that may not be 100% true because I don't think that's going on in any one of our households. And I don't really know too many of my homies who households that's going on in either. You know what I'm saying? But that's what you see on TV every day. But
I mean,
the friends that I know, that's not going on.
and I think the older you get, even with the younger generation, they even start to realize that what they're seeing isn't necessarily true.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. I do
You know what I
agree
mean?
with
Like
that
as they
but the
matured,
thing
just
is
similar
because
to
we've
what
taught.
happened to us. As we matured, we started truly understanding the value of things and what was what was real and what was not real.
We started understanding some of the stuff that our parents were saying too. And you know what I'm saying? Like we like, whoa, like I'm getting old. Like now I
Mm-hmm.
understand. Now I understand what they was going through. Now I understand. You know what I'm saying? And and I think, like you said, it happens to every generation. It's just repeating. And sometimes I think it is being pushed in our face, but I honestly sometimes I do believe that we're breaking the mold how things used to be. Like I don't think
100%.
sometimes I don't think it's two sides to it. Sometimes I don't think things are either as good as they seem or as bad as they seem. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just want to be on one extreme. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? You gotta keep it level head. Like when things are
Yeah.
going good, be okay with it and appreciate it, but don't be too high because things
The
are never
problem
as good as
is,
you know what I'm saying. And
yeah, I feel like the
if that
problem
makes
is, I
sense.
agree with you. The same thing that I feel like the problem is that society puts everything in one basket.
Ah,
So where you are, where you are is not included to everyone. You know what I'm saying? Just like we talked about the myth of a deadbeat dad. You know what I'm saying? We talked about, just because one person, we're not, just because I'm with a, and we can go into that one next. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring that one up next. Is the
Yeah.
myth of a deadbeat dad.
It
And
you go because the term what society is telling us it's so broad. You know what I mean? So where you're getting your information from and what you're paying attention to, and that's what you're seeing. You know what I'm saying? I choose not to pay attention to it. I know people who get up in the morning and watch the news every morning. I don't get up and watch the news. I don't like, you know what I mean? So a lot of stuff that's happening in somebody's life that they think is so real, I don't even know that's going on. I'm having a great day today. You know what I'm saying? Unless a bomb fall out the sky and we gone, then I know. But other than that, I don't pay attention to a lot of the propaganda and all of that, bro. Like, you know what I
I
mean? It's
got
gonna
you.
be what's
No,
gonna be.
no, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm, still bringing it up. We got to talk about it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And just because, and it's the same thing I said. I've mentioned that my son and my daughter went to the same creative arts school, and they have a thing in the beginning of the year where all the dads show up. It was 300 dads there, like easy 300 dads, and every time I'm dropping them, I see dads. I
Let me
see them
ask you a
apart.
question,
Go ahead.
Rodney, because we all in the same age area, right?
Yeah.
If we would have did that back in our, that's what they're doing now. If we would have did that back in our era, how many dads would have been out there then? It's because we grew up with the lingering parent that we said, I ain't gonna do that for mine. I'm gonna be there for mine. That
No, I agree with you.
Yeah. I said that
No,
last
no, I
week.
agree with you. But
that's
that was all institutionalized too. That was brought upon the government made that okay. The government said you don't need a father in your household because we'll take care of you. Matter
that's
of
a
fact,
true
if you have
generational
one in here,
curse.
we're not going to help you at all. That's
That's a
what the
generational
government put in
curse.
there, and that's where the whole. But that's where the whole deadbeat dad or whatever started. But it was made okay. It was like it
They
was pushed. It was
created the
enforced.
deadbeat dad. They made the
Yeah.
Frankenstein to break up the black family. They didn't. More white people was getting help from social service than any black folk,
Still are.
but they wasn't treated the same way. Did y'all see that movie? Y'all remember this movie called Claudine with James Earl Jones and Diane Carroll?
I remember that when he
They
came in and
used to
called her every
come into
name in
her
the
house,
book, didn't he?
people's house. They came into people's house
Oh yeah.
and looking at your stuff. They will look. Social service back in the day will come in your house, and if they see a new computer, new laptop, deduction. Oh, they looking around your house.
They're looking for men's shoes. If you have men's shoes in it, they'll take your
They
benefit.
looking for that too. They say, "Oh, you got a flat screen. Oh, you got this. Oh, how you get that? What's that? The speaker? What? You got an air purifier? How you get? We like they used to be in your business, and some people don't know it. If you never been down to social service to ask for any help, it's one of the most degrading things that you could do because the way they treat you down there. I'm disabled. I had to go down there. I've gone through the process. This lady going, look at me. I'm down. I need some help with my medical bills. She was like, oh, well, you get too much a month. You must not know what social service for. I said, excuse me. I know that I pay my taxes. I worked since I was a kid and I paid into the system. Now I'm asking for the system to help me with my bills. This is what I know. I know that I need help, and I know that you're supposed to help me. I wrote her a letter to her, and I wrote her a letter to President Obama. I showed us when Obama was in office. So he wrote me back. I got my response for the social service people. I got what I needed, the medical that I needed, because they were saying that I made too much money. And with the medical and the sick, but I needed and all, you know, so, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's most degrading because they go through your business with a fine tooth comb. They wanted my taxes back from 3 years ago. What does 3 years ago have to do with now? I'm sick now. I need help now. Back in 2013, 12, I was there rolling with the hot sauce. They want to know your assets. You got any savings, bonds, any money transferred in? They going through your business. Okay? And it's
Yeah,
so
no, I hear you.
degrading. Yeah.
Nah, I
And
hear
I
you.
was like, what is this? And that's so to deter us. That's why when you apply for Social Security and you don't have an attorney, they turn you down automatically. Boom, 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 boom. You can say, I'm on life support now. They're going to turn you down. Nobody I know go through it because this their job is to deter us. We are owed or we are due that if we need it. If we need it. But they don't want us to even claim it if we need it. Because if we don't claim it, it's more in their budget. It's more money they can move from helping the old people, sick people to the space program. It's more money they can do something else. They don't want they don't want us to get for help. And that's the same thing with Claudine. They created the dependency on the welfare system. Church and state churches used to take care of people way back in the day. But the government came in and said, nope, we're going to take care of them. And they got to do boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Church said, okay, your daddy can't come. So what your daddy do? You and the kids go on and eat. I'll be all right. Go ahead. They did that in slavery time. They sent the women and children, go ahead. Go on and get you to safety. I'ma hold back the
We
rear.
definitely know it's systematic and the government play a role in it. But at I mean, but at the
So
end of the
so
day, we definitely have to take responsibility and
for
pull ourselves up
yours
at the bootstrings and do what we need to do. Like when you need help, yeah, you do. But
and no
life,
government
yeah,
should make a
exactly.
man take care of their
Yeah,
seed.
it
I
should
got
be
nobody gonna make
temporary. You
it.
know what I'm saying? If you thinking they gonna be permanent help, you know what I mean? Yeah.
All right, well, let's go. We're gonna move on a little bit further to the next subject. So I'm gonna be honest with
Sorry.
y'all. I sat down with my kids, my daughter. She's 17. I also sat down with my nephew and asked them just casually, and I didn't agree with none of their answers, so I don't really have a good way to explain it. But I'm gonna go ahead and try because I said I'm gonna throw it out there and let's see what happens. But I asked him, I was like, "Yo, so what do you feel are generation?" I explained what I thought was generational curses and curses. And I said, "What are statements that you didn't understand as a child?" And of course, they hurriedly answered me, and one was, "Kids are to be seen, not heard," and the other one was, "A child needs to stay in his place." Now, once again, I did was like, well, okay, all those things are true. And then, but they came back to me and they said, and I'm just gonna say what they say. Don't mean I agree, but they was like, yeah, well, the problem is a lot of times we're being put in situations that a child shouldn't be in. And then when we say something, you tell me I can't have an opinion. Well, then why am I here? You're like, I shouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? And I said, okay, I can respect that. I understand. I was like, all right, so now I'm just going to put it out there and say what they had to say. And coach, you look like you had something to say. I'm listening.
All right, man. There is value both ways in a kid knowing their place, right? Because one, society makes our kids grow up way too fast. That's the very first thing. Two, a child's brain and teenager's brain hasn't matured enough or experienced enough to know how to deal with adult situations, despite being forced to be an adult, right? They still haven't matured or enough to even know how to handle an adult situation, right? And I mean, it's our job to teach them that. I think that there is a lot of value in adults speaking about adult things without children present. The biggest mistake that we make is we have adult conversations in front of children. And when you have those conversations in front of children, a child's mind that doesn't comprehend will then formulate opinions that do not matter. Does that make sense? Thus, convoluting the whole thing.
It
That
does.
is my personal opinion with that.
Okay. Reese,
Like in
anything to
my
add?
yeah, he coach spot on. Like in my book Shades of Blue, they was putting this child in
Plug,
all
shameless
kinds of
plug.
adult situations, shameless plug, and all kinds of I'm calling situations because
Mm-hmm.
again, coach, like you said, it was some shit in it this child shouldn't have been in or a part of, and then when they react on the environment that you put them in, then you trying to tell them, oh, you bad, you this, you that, you that. No, you bad parenting because you shouldn't be exposing kids to certain things. See,
Mm-hmm.
I told my son, I said, you got a lot of hormones and testosterone running around there. Uh, he don't have any estrogen. He literally he had, but he got both. But all that testosterone's running rampant. Your mind isn't level enough to withdo some of the other temptation. That's why your other head get you in trouble because you're thinking
Mm-hmm.
with your other head when you older and you're more subdued. Most men, I can't speak on all men, most men, that's they older, they chill because they know how to deal with it. Versus that your little tally knocker all hard and you just going off of that head because that's where all the blood is rushing to from this head to the other head.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't act, you don't think logic, or logic goes out the window. You smoking out the window, just like that song said. This girl got you bent. This girl got you flipping over this and this and that, and you're not thinking logical, because you thinking you're not thinking maturely. You're
Correct.
not leveled out with your hormones. You're not sit back and let me assess the situation, because that's another thing with children and teenagers. You have that high libido, and they're not as seasoned as their parents. That's why we're gonna think differently on certain occasions
Oh,
when you're talking to your sons and your daughters, because y'all got that high hormones drilling high. You ain't come to that level plateau yet. And also, like you said, Coach, we shouldn't be putting children in adult situation. And nowadays, that's what's wrong with the kids now. We give them too
100%.
much freedom. We let them think that they do matter, but let them think their opinion count or run a house. You know, that's what we're giving them, too many choices, too many liberties, instead of saying, seeing and not heard. No, we need to see what you're doing, and we need to hear what you're thinking, because sometimes they be thinking stuff off that we need to know, because we need to know what you think. You thinking that? No, let me help you. Let me correct you or get you with this.
and
Gone are those days, because they're not the same kids that we were.
yeah, but we're not friends.
Sure ain't.
We're not equally yoked. Like, I'm equally yoked with my wife.
That's
Like,
your partner.
everybody else's decision doesn't really matter. Your opinion matters, but your opinion won't necessarily impact my decision.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Nah,
and that's the thing, because you don't know the whole story. You don't know the why. You don't know if I've been through that situation before and I already know how to react.
I say that all the time, because experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, your experience gonna lead you to certain decisions, and sometimes this is just a little off. We can go to the next set, but
no, you good.
we act and we go off of what has worked for us.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes, especially with our kids and different things, we can give suggestions, but sometimes necessarily what we did may not be necessarily the right decision for them.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So all we can do is lead, teaching what we taught.
I
But
agree.
sometimes, like, we can't be, especially when you look at what they doing, and they're not reckless though. Like, you can see if your child is being reckless, or you know what I'm saying. But if they're just maybe not being as conservative as you may want them to be, because we want our kids to be safe, and you know what I mean. But if you look at them and saying like, nah, they kind of moving calculated, you know what I mean. Like, you got to be with them, you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah,
and I would say that, like, it's not always something wrong, or like what we teach them. It is concrete. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree with all y'all, and I kind of believe it's a gift and a curse.
But can I ask all y'all men something? Because all y'all men, me and my son, and I'm trying to tell him where a thought is or where the hose is, like, and I said, I'm trying to save you from heartache and pain. You know what he told me? He want his own scars.
Hey, and that is a real man answer right there. I like it.
Yeah,
but I believe in it. But you still want to protect them from those scars as a parent. But hey,
yeah,
sometimes you got to let them go out there. Sometimes you be like, hey yo, them streets is dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
But,
and sometimes
you
gotta
prepare
let
them.
'em go out there.
But you prepare. But ain't that what practice for? You preparing for the street. You preparing for battle. Then when they go out there and get some scars, y'all got a good enough relationship where they can come to you and maybe talk to you, and then you know what I mean, y'all can regroup. So it ain't like, you know what I mean, it ain't like you not dead. It like, yeah, you preparing them.
Always gotta have that.
You're preparing them for the game of life. That's all it is.
Truth be told, tell them this. You can prevent them from getting some unnecessary scars, though.
It's certain there. It definitely.
I tried, and it was like,
sometimes, because some scars are. I'll be straight up with you. Some scars are necessary, and some scars are unnecessary.
Facts.
Right. You know what I mean? But you might not be able to prevent all of the unnecessary scars.
I was
Right.
about to say, but we call them unnecessary, and I would say this because we hate to see our kids go through it. But
Mm-hmm.
are they really unnecessary? Especially because we don't know how the story going to turn out.
We
You know
don't.
what I'm saying? Like that's how I play it. Like we don't know. You know what I'm saying? All you can do is teach them and do what you do, and you care. And sometimes you got to care, but not that much. But it's hard to do that with your child. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is.
But
It is. But I feel like all of
It
us in
get
this room
easier.
as
It get
men.
easier the older they get, though.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
Y-
hold on.
y'all
But listen to
men.
this. But all of us as men have sat there and looked at our parents and was like, "Yeah, I'm about to go out. You just told me all this, but I'm still about to go out here and get this car." I know that.
yeah,
I can
That's
say
what
that
he
is
did.
100. I've done that 100%.
fact.
And
Rodney, it's
Maddie,
Yeah.
necessary. It's necessary to get your heart broke, but don't give her all your money. See, it's necessary to get that heart broke, but
Yeah,
is
just
it
for
that's
anything.
unnecessary to dump your bank account, give her all your money? That's
Yeah.
what.
I mean, and truth be told, like that scar went from unnecessary to necessary real quick, didn't it?
Hey, but this real facts though. Like we all watch movies and think about it. Let's just say we wasn't in what we call quote unquote society. We watching society, but we grew up in the wild. We lions. Eventually, what's gonna happen? You got to go out and learn how to hunt. You got to learn how to kill. So you're gonna get scars, and you might. So it ain't no different. You know what I'm saying?
True.
We taught our kids, and now they got to go do it. We just looking at it in society, and society got a lot of layers to it, a lot of politics and all this other gray areas and all of that. But in the wild, it's either survive, eat or be killed. You know what I mean? It's very basic. We
Yeah.
got we got a lot of layers in politics. You know what I'm saying? We do, but it's still simple in a lot of other ways. But y'all kind of get what I'm saying. I hope.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I
Yeah,
get it, 100%.
I
Nah,
get it.
and thank you, Reese, for that question. I mean, but it's the truth, though. I mean, all of us as men have sat there. I know I have. I told my parents, I was like, yeah. They gave me the whole speech. I was like, yeah, I'm still about to go out here and do this stupid shit. I'm really about to still do that. Like, I don't even know why you talked to me this long. Like, I wish you had let me go. I would already had it done and came back and apologized by now. You know what I'm saying?
He sound like my son.
Like, yo, like,
He
yeah,
talked to me
like,
this
come
long.
Hey, that's
on.
just real life, man. Your parents always gonna be my
Yeah.
my
That don't
mother.
mean you did anything wrong.
I'm 40 something years old. Been married for 20 something years, 2 kids with my same wife, and my mother still,
Yo,
talk to me like you know what I
like,
mean? Yeah,
Yep.
want you to come back, like, like get you like, I'm good, mom. Like, you know what I'm saying? She but that's just her perspective. She still has her views of life and how you should live your life. But I'm like, you know what I mean? Like that's
shout out to my brother Wes, who raised me after I was 11 years old. He still comes over my house. And I was like, yo, you judging today or we good? We can actually sit down and have a conversation. And he's like, well, I'll never not be judging. You know what I'm saying? But, it's all love. You know that I can't change him. He ain't going to change me, but he's still going to say what he got to say. It don't matter what's going on. He's still going. I'm like, dude, I'm 40. I had to sit down and tell her. I was like, yo, I don't need a dad no more. I need a brother. You know what I'm saying? And he still looked at me and said, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Nah, I'm good. Like
yeah.
that person you want, my brother has that I'm not your friend mentality with me. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it's great
It's
times,
tough.
but I still love it. Now it doesn't bother me anymore. Now I just let him do his thing. Like,
So in other words, he's saying this. Follow me, fellas, when I'm saying this. I'm not your daddy, I'm your daddy's son, but I'll be your daddy, see your daddy come. Again. So
there
that's
you
what
go
he's saying.
rapping. There you go.
Yeah,
Bars.
see?
But that was sounding
got
good.
There you
I'm
bars.
not your daddy, I'm your daddy's son. My granddaddy
Reese
used to say
got
that.
bars.
No,
every
that
time.
would be biting my granddaddy. He used to say that his older brother, it was 14 of them, and the oldest brother would be the brother.
Yeah.
And he used to tell him, I'm not your daddy, I'm your daddy's son, but I'll be your daddy till your daddy come. So in other words,
Yeah.
listen to what he's saying.
Why he not around? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm dad until he get home. Yeah. I get it. Yeah, that's basically what it is. And you know what?
Man.
It was good. I had to put that out there. All right, so now I'm gonna end with some. I want us to end with some positive notes, and I want everybody to give something, if they can, something that they have experienced themselves personally that they had to change to change their own generational or cultural curses in their own household. So I should have prepped y'all for this earlier. I'm sorry I
Hey,
didn't.
I
But
got an answer already.
you
Like
got an
this one of
answer
the
already?
first
Go ahead,
times.
Matty Ice. You can go first, man.
This one of the first
Uh,
times you done asked the question like off the top of my head. It's patience. I used to be so impatient and with my kids and get frustrated like over simple things. Like I said, man, I had my son when I was young. You know what I mean? So I was like 18 years old, 19, and I was used to get frustrated about different things and was impatient at that time. And I had to change that way. And as I got older, I got a lot more patient, was able to teach and look at things different ways. But because of my impatience, it did like put certain mannerisms in your kids and different things that you could tell, like, you know what I'm saying? Like just when knowing that stuff don't always have to be right, and when they're not right, you don't have to always get upset. Because somebody used to say that. I think Rodney, you mentioned how used to like, how can you tell your child to have a good day when you
Yelling.
yelling at them
Yeah.
before they get out the
You
car
yell when you
and
get out the
different
car.
things
You
like
yell
that?
at them when they go to bed. You yell at them.
So we
Yeah,
talk about
100%.
these generational curses, and unfortunately, like sometimes that is glamorized, like the sassiness and us cussing our kids out and all of that. I was never one to cuss my kids out or nothing like that. But when it came like maybe to school work and he bring home bad grades, I'm flicking off. I'm getting mad instead of talking and teaching. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I knew at the time. But
Yeah.
then as I grew, I was like, damn, that wasn't the way to approach that. You know what I mean? That was a teaching time instead of a getting mad or frustrated time. So throughout the time, I think that changed. The path of my family is me being a more patient man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that's helped me in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? Not just with my kids, but that's one of the things that's most apparent to me, is patience.
Okay. Coach.
I think one of the things that was passed down to me, I was sheltered when I was younger. You know what I mean? And my mom and dad protected me from the world. You know what I mean? They had their reasons. I mean, from music, from everything. You know what I mean? And pretty much, I think with my kids and with the help of my wife, because my wife wasn't as sheltered. I mean, she had definitely control and so forth. You know what I'm saying? A good family in place, but um like my parents were strictly about the Bible, grew up in church, nothing else. I wasn't really even exposed to like outside until 12 or 13. Right. You know what I mean? Not that didn't have friends. I mean, Rodney been my friend, but friends were choice. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They were church friends and
But we
so
also
forth.
talk about when we got 12 or 13, we went buck wild. When we got I
Correct.
went
So
buck.
yeah,
I'll talk about myself.
we went like
I went buck wild when I got out. When I finally got in the
absolutely,
streets, I was like,
but
hold up, wait a minute.
yeah. So it's kind of like
That's
with
usually what happens.
that is.
Yeah, I was like that too, but I ain't, yeah, I did.
Hold
Yeah.
on, let Coach
So,
finish, and then we. Yeah.
so like with my kids, it's kind of like the exposure to, hey, yeah, we still go to church every Sunday, but you know what I'm saying? You go to public school and you see the world. You know what I mean? You go outside and you play and you see the world. You hear the music on the radio. You understand what they're saying. We talk about that. And I think kind of breaking that whole, like making them more well rounded to where, and the funny thing is my oldest that's out in the world now, and even the one that's going out in the world, both of them are like, man, you let us do just about everything, but we still don't feel like we're prepared for the world. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, but you're a little bit more prepared than what I was prepared for,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know what I mean? Because like me going, like Rodney said, 13 on, 1322 was a complete show. Like complete show. And Rodney has said this before. Like me and Rodney had to sit down at like 16 and be like, yo, we can't be friends.
17, the pastor sat us down.
Yeah, sat us down. It was like
Sat
we
us
can't
down,
we,
was like,
we
yeah,
cannot
yeah,
we can no
like,
longer
y'all
hang
gotta
together.
figure this out because y'all on the route for two things: death and jail. That was
Yep.
it. He didn't even give us a third option. Like
Yeah. And
he
it was
like,
one
that
other
was it.
person. Ray was with us. Shout out to Ray. You know,
Yeah,
man.
shout out to Ray.
What was you doing at 13 though?
Man, no, this conversation happened at 17.
That conversation
Well,
happened at 17.
It started at 13. Like
13, I
13
crashed.
was like the
13, you
beginning.
really want to know? I crashed the car in the parking lot, in the church parking lot.
She was bad.
I mean, bad. Thank God there wasn't a World Star or cell.
Yeah, we in a
back
different era, man.
then.
Yeah, I'm like,
Thank God there wasn't cell phones back then because we could recuperate from things that
Yeah.
we did. And I mean, I ain't gonna lie, like Ray said, a lot of stuff we did together for a long period of time. Then they told it, and then we separated for a while, and then we came, as adults, we came back together. Our friendship never ended. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
There was never a time we couldn't call each other, but we decided we wanted different. You know what I'm saying? That was the big decision. You want different from what we were doing, because it was
yeah,
good
life.
times, though, man.
Y'all
Don't
was-
get me
yeah.
wrong. I don't regret any of it to the point of like I would not have wanted to do it, but you know what? It made me who I am today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it made me a great father for my children. Like,
Mhm.
because I can look at my
those
kids.
life lessons, that's experience that we was just talking about.
Yeah,
you
100%.
couldn't even have the conversation y'all having without that. So you know what I mean?
Because I look at my kids and I be like, man, you ain't doing shit new. And the worst part is I did it better. Like, you ain't even good at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You
But
ain't even good at it.
it's all in perception. In their world, that is just as big as it was to us at that moment. You got to remember that though. Like, I try not to belittle it, like, because we think social media and all of that is nothing, but in their perception, it mean a lot. So you got to understand how it does affect them and not be like, you know what I'm saying? Just on some like, you still got to teach them, but you still got to be aware though of that it does play a role bigger than it may play a role in our perspective.
Reese, how about you?
The generational curse that was broken, and this is the big one, guys. Okay, for those of y'all who have little girls, it was me not becoming a teenage mother. I was a product of a teenage mother. All of my best girlfriends around me had babies when they was teenagers. 16 was the age for getting pregnant. All of them, and my grandparents, for some reason, I couldn't even date. I didn't date no boys. The first time I was out, I was grown. I went on a date. I was over 18, out of school, and got a chance to go on a date. They thought, because my mama had 3 kids by the time she was 19, and they thought that, oh, you just going to be a welfare mom, and this is this and this and that. But my mother broke the curse because she didn't do that. She didn't let that stop her. She became a budget analyst in the IRS. She had a good job, a career. She retired now, but she didn't even let that stop her. But all of my friends and your cousin family, everybody having babies, and they was drilling. They was on me about that. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I swear. I went to school and went home. I didn't want to disappoint my grandparents. So I broke that. My son was born, I was 22. I was grown and I was out the house living on my own when I had a baby. How many women can say that? You ain't even living at home with your grandmama or your grandparents. I had my own crib. That's how I ended up getting pregnant. I got out on my own.
Well, they sheltered you. Well, the problem was they sheltered you before, and then your ass got out there, got your old crib, was probably out there Jay wilding. So I was just,
I had a boyfriend, but yeah, we was wilding, doing crazy stuff. Having part of your friends come over. It was a good thing and a bad thing. Like I said, I gotta. Oh, what is that? Oh, what does that do? Oh, he's go ahead and touch it. If I touch it, we just going to do the rhythm method. Oh, just put the little. Oh, that's what happened. And when you pregnant? What did I do? Well, how did I get pregnant? It was like that. So it was really dumb, but I broke the curse. No teenage pregnancy.
Heard?
So
okay. All right, so I wrote a few things down, and we're in the show on this real quick. It was just well for me personally, and this is even I did a lot of things before this, but this is the most recent for me. Is I changed how I talk to myself. I
To
stopped saying
yourself?
to myself. I changed how I talk to myself. I stopped saying. You'd be surprised how much negative things you say to yourself. How much negative things you say. Oh well, I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. Guess what? I can do that. I don't know if and even simple things like I'm going to try to get this done. No, I'm going to get it
Mm,
done.
Mm.
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And once you start doing that, to me, it really opens up and changes so much for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to accomplish this. I'm going to do this. I got goals. I set goals for myself. I accomplish these goals for myself. And that's what I'm saying. It starts to me, it always starts with you. No matter what it is, because until you take care of yourself, you can't take care of no one else.
yep.
And then once you learn how to talk to yourself, then you learn how to talk to others and feed that same energy into someone else. Telling your kids you can do it. They be like, oh, I don't know if I can. No, you can do whatever you want. What do you want to do?
Mhm.
Let's do it. Let's figure out a plan. Let's get that. Let's do that. How we're going to do it. And then the last thing, and all this has to do with yourself. One, how you talk to yourself. One, how you talk to the other. And this was Matty Ice brought up last week. Is what are you feeding yourself? And I don't mean feeding yourself like food. I mean feeding yourself like energy. I mean feeding yourself like your friends, the people who you're around, the things you talk about, the things that you're involved in, the things that you are doing and going out here and being a part of.
Listening
Those
to every
things,
day.
yeah, what are you listening to every day? Exactly. Like those things, all things you have to change. Because if you listening to the wrong things every day, you're feeding yourself the wrong food. You know what I'm saying? And of course, Reese is going to talk about, yes, I still eat bacon sandwiches. So, that what I feed
Look, I
myself.
wasn't even talking about you eating bacon and stuff because
But
it's
I'm
one thing
talking
at a
about,
time. One thing at a time. I
yeah,
know.
yeah, but I'm still talking about, but realistically, I'm making that joke, but it's about what do you feed yourself? And you have to, in my opinion, for you to do anything or to change anything generationally, culturally, or even in your own household, you have to start with you.
That's
And I'll
right.
tell anybody that you have to start with you. It don't matter what's going on in your household, you have to start with you. And
Fact.
changing how you talk to yourself, then changing how you talk to others, and also changing what you're feeding yourself are all key points into making a difference and actual making a real change. And this is all stuff that I've learned on the show during this year and months that we've been doing it together. And it's been a good time. It's been a great time. I'm about to go ahead and go to a close. Reese, you want to tell people where to come follow you at and hear this every Monday through Friday. Now
Monday through Friday.
now Reese, I love you, but Reese show a little hardcore than usual. And Coach, don't ever listen to me on the show because I do go wild out quite a bit on the show,
I
talking
ain't
about
judging.
things and having fun. So you
He
know,
be
ha-
starting stuff,
yeah,
coach.
I
yeah.
believe it.
Half the time I be thinking I was like, "Woo, I'm glad Coach ain't listen to this." He'd be like, "Oh hell nah, it's okay." But I was like, "Yeah, he knew who his friend was
A nut roll.
back when we was 4 years old. He knew who he became friends with, so I'm not tripping.
Yeah, man.
I don't care about
The
his
guy answered
judgment.
the coach. You know, man, I ain't the
Yeah,
one guy answered to.
That's
true
right.
that. Absolutely, absolutely. But tell everybody where they can watch you at, and all the good stuff, Reese.
Okay, well, you can Monday through Fridays, like you said, 10:30. When Rodney on there, he talk forever, so sometimes we don't get off to 12. They be extra long. But for 10:30 in the morning to whatever time we finish the show,
I blame
you can
Marlon.
find me on Facebook and on YouTube under it's the Morning Mac Show. But if you go under Althea McFarlane on Facebook, or if you go under YouTube under Reese Cup NYE, or just type in the Morning Mac Show, and even on IG. Now we're streaming on IG, the Morning Mac Show. You can find me on IG. It's Althea MC71. on Facebook, TikTok. What else am I on, Rodney? It's Althea McFarlane.
Instagram, Facebook,
Yeah, if you
and
just look for Althea McFarlane,
yeah,
if you Google me,
TikTok.
you'll find it all. I'm an author, a comedian, a spokesperson. I'm just all around. There you go, Shades of Blue. Shades
Buy the
of Blue.
book.
You
Make
know
sure you
what,
get it.
Maddie? I think your wife got the book too. She got
Yes,
it.
do. We definitely got a copy.
Is
Yeah.
she enjoying it?
I believe so. She not the fastest reader when it comes to books, but she shared. It's sitting on her bedside.
Okay. And Coach, it's real. It's not an awful book. It's about real life stuff that happened to people. But it's
Yeah,
a fictional
I
book.
owe you an ordering on that. I told you I would order. I'll make sure I order it.
You can get it from Rodney. You can always come
Get
to when
his
you come
own
to the
copy. What are you
festival.
talking about? Get
When
your
you
own
come
copy.
to the DC Freedom Festival to stop the gun violence, and we're trying to get political people out there, like the mayor and the you know, the people involved. So
Mhm.
the politicians out there. It's not a political movement. It's a
Yeah.
comedy thing, and it's about the
Gotcha.
gun violence. And we're trying to get the people, if they want to come in and do an amnesty thing where they could turn in their guns.
Guns and stuff.
Cause
Yeah.
because we need these babies left and right so much. But
Yep.
that's where you can find me. And whenever Rodney invite me back, and I'll be in the next Maddie Ice fashion show.
There
Doing
you
some
go.
big girl fashion.
Hey,
So, and
you
eating
gotta
ice
stop
cream.
doing
Eating
that.
ice cream.
Reese,
Right.
just make sure you run off stage and run to your car so you can keep your gear.
Wait a minute, you want to take it back?
Yeah.
You want to take it back?
Hey.
But
Hey.
look, bring me some ice cream, Maddie. I want some ice
That
cream.
would be lit if you did have Reese eating ice cream at the end of the show coming out.
Okay, honey.
That'd be tight. I could we could do something with some
That'd be
Reese pieces. Hey, we could,
yeah. Oh, give her own. Oh, yeah, give her own brand. Yeah, that sounds good too. Give her own ice cream, dog. But
you ain't getting that ice cream back. You ain't getting
hey, Reese, I want to thank you for joining us today. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this show was fire. I think it was a lot of great information and conversation. You know, we do this show to spark conversation amongst our people that normally we don't have together. So, you know, I'm glad that you decided to join us today. I appreciate it. You are forever a welcome dad mentality guest.
Thank
You know what I'm saying? Even though Matty Ice ain't gonna get you a shirt, I'm gonna get you a dad mentality shirt. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about him. And we thank you for coming and bringing on the show. You know, it's Beast One, Matty Ice, and Coach Dad Mentality. You can catch us on everything Dad_mentality. Hey, I'm gonna be in Indonesia posting. Make sure you come and watch. I still gonna broadcast from Indonesia if my hotel room has good enough Wi-Fi. So we want to make that happen if it does happen. And, you know, we just have some fun and just
find my husband, Rodney. Why you looking? Find my husband.
I ain't going to be out there shopping for husbands, but
if you come across one,
if I run across one, I'll send them your way. You know what I'm saying? But you too busy. See, you take too good of the dudes. That's the problem. I told you about that. You need to stop taking care. She always want to mother them dudes. So, you know what I'm saying? She bring them in, love them, do too good, do too much, and then want to know why he do what he do. So, you know, that's just my opinion. My opinion is free, Reese. I'm not going to charge you for that. But anyway, I thank y'all for
Her
joining
phone about
us
to be
with
blowing up
another
tomorrow.
show. Yeah, with another show. Thank y'all for coming out. Make sure you check us out on everything Dad_mentality.